Hi there, welcome back again. Thanks for joining us, our fellow subscribers. If this is your first time of watching our channel, we encourage you to subscribe, share our videos to your network. We really appreciate your time. For our loyal subscribers, we always give you a thumbs up and thanks for joining. What are we looking at today? Now, at the end of this video, you will learn a lot about the doubts that people have in their mind when they plan to study online. That will be cleared enough and you will be able to make an informed decision. All of these things about this skepticism out there about online programs, there are millions and hundreds and millions of people around the world who are moving forward with their careers. And maybe you want to be among those numbers. So by the end of this video, you will learn a lot and you will be ready to make a decision. If not now, then in the future. So we want to ask you to keep watching the video to the end. Thank you. Now, what is the first myth out there? Number one is saying that online classes are easy. Well, I don't believe that it's a walk in the park. So if you feel that online learning is a walk in the park, then you want to take it yourself and see what it is. The truth about it is it's very challenging. It's time consuming, absolutely stressful, the same as campus programs. You need to commit yourself, commit your time for you to be able to be successful. So don't forget that you have to be very strict or you'll be placed on some kind of a timetable for you to become successful. So the discussion about that is easy. It's not at all. You will be challenged to an extent that you won't believe it. So that's an advice to you as you plan on committing yourself for an online program. So what's the second myth? The second myth is that some people say that you hide behind your computer. I don't think that is possible. The reason why I tell you this, it's never going to be possible for you to hide behind your computer because online learning is all about participation, engagement. You have to participate, submit assignment on a regular basis. At least you need a minimum of 15 to 20 hours a week for you to be successful. That could take you up to 30 hours a week. All depends on your schedule. You have to post assignment 2 times a week. You've got to involve in the classroom to participate, to submit discussion, interact in projects. All of these commitments are needed from you. And also you have to answer questions from your professor. You have to give feedback on your write-up. You have to also make sure you edit your work. There's a lot of commitment. So the fact that you're going to be hiding behind your computer, it's never going to happen. So we encourage you to wipe that out of your mind, that you can hide behind your computer, because the commitment expected of you, that goes alongside your performance in class. So we advise you to make sure that you wipe that out of your own mind. What's the other myth out there? It's saying that another myth is that you're going to be alone. Well, of my experience interacting with online professionals from hundreds of countries around the world, you will never be alone while you study online. Why this happens is because you are studying with other working professionals from different backgrounds. You have to submit papers on a weekly basis. You have to be engaged for you to have good grades. You have to interact. In the course of you doing that, you develop your skills. And it's also very important, and you will be surprised to the level of engagement that the demands that the terms of the work assignments and the projects, all of these things need your attention. So you can't just come in and submit assignment and you go. No, you have to respond to questions from your professor. You have to respond to questions from your peers. And being alone, not at all. If you are doing a PhD program, or if you're involved in an executive master's program, be it an MSc or MBA, you'll be required to be involved in, maybe you have to travel to go to a university on a campus base for you to participate in some kind of lectures or to do some kind of presentation, if that is a format However, there is never going to be a time you will be alone. You're going to be involved or engaged from day one until the day you graduate. Another myth which people say that you have enough time to spare when you study online. Well, that's never going to happen. I mean, the fact that you may have time to save you some time to travel to work and become flexible does not necessarily mean that you have enough time to not do anything. No. Like I said earlier, you will need a minimum of 15 to 20 hours to participate in class. And you also, in some situations, the professor may put you together in a project where you have to work with other students. So where's the time going to come? And you have to write assignments that could range up to 600 to 1,000 words. So you have to write that. You have to do assignment, go to the library, research your work. If it's an online library, you have to do a lot of work as well. You have journal publications that you have to read. You have to code. You have to do a lot of things. And the time that you're going to be spared will be for you to allocate that to your own online learning. So it is challenging indeed. So the fact that you're going to have enough time to spare or go to your regular activities, not at all. That's why it's advisable before you commit to doing an online program. We had a video about that. You want to talk about this with your wife. You want to talk about it with your husband. You want to involve your family members so they can encourage you and motivate you to participate and become successful. It is so important for you to consider this in the future when you plan to commit yourself. So the fact that you're going to have enough spare time, not at all. You may be spared in terms of waking up in the morning, going to regular work, going to regular university. This is not going to happen. With online, all of your free time will be put into getting involved into your own studies. The next myth is that there is a general saying that with online studies, you will not need books. Well, this is completely not true, and it's absolutely not true. Now, there are two ways here. Number one, if you're saying you need books, almost every online university programs, you require study materials. We did a video about online learning materials. We encourage you to click on that and watch it in one of our playlists. It's so important for you. Now, you need books definitely. Whether you need the books from an online bookstore, which an online library, which comes with lots of journal publications, research papers from renowned authors that guide you with your learning. You have to go there and download materials. You must quote those papers. The professor expects you to be professional. You have to also, if you're using a Harvard referencing style or you're using the APA style like in the US, you want to participate. You need to make sure that you do external research to make sure that you become more, you understand what the professor needs for you to have good grades, to perform actually well, to have a good grade in during your graduation or your selection process for your overall marks. Another thing that you should be aware of also is that you will be required to buy textbooks on a regular basis. So you will spend a lot of money. Some of the textbooks are pretty expensive. You may purchase your books from Amazon. You may get books from other online bookstore. The university also may have a bookstore that you can buy from. So you can speak to those who have been through an online program. They actually spend money, and that goes to thousands of euros or dollars or pounds. So it depends what program you're going in for. So the myth that says, or the question that says that you will need books, not at all. You will also need online materials that you need to do research over the internet to justify your answers, to strengthen your own answers that you were giving to the classroom. So definitely you're going to need books, online books or hard copies. It's up to you what the program requires. So we advise you to wipe that out of your mind, that you're never going to need books at all. So we hope that has been cleared enough. Another myth which is out there confusing people is saying that when studying online you won't have help. Well, that's completely not true. In the future, we're going to do a video about the structure or the setting of an online recruitment process. I think we did a video about that. We encourage you to watch it. where we talked about the recruitment process from entering to graduation. So the fact that you won't need help, it's not true. You have 100% of the people who recruit you in the program are different from the people who advise you during your studies. Of course, you have a helpline which is there. You are interacting with your professor. You have an academic advisor or an academic coach, whatever position that is in that particular university you're going for. This is the person you go to when you need support. The tech support part is there. You have problem with your online classroom, they're going to help you. Your personal advisor is there. You need anything about the classroom, the payment of your tuition fee, research materials, how to navigate the student learning environment, the portal, as it's called, how to upload materials in the classroom, how to research the library. There's someone that's going to help you with that. So you are not alone at all. That is not true. Also, another very important thing you need to know as well, you have a chance to interact with other people in your own classroom where you're going to be talking about a lot of things. So this is important. You're never going to be alone. All of these issues, the people are there to support you through the process. So the fact that you will be alone and you won't have help, well, there is someone who is there 24 hours a day. All depends on what university. The structure has been designed to keep you going. So I hope that it's been pretty clear in that particular question, or that myth has been put to rest. Another myth which is out there again is saying that when you study online, you will not get to know your lecturer or you will know your classmates. Well, that is absolutely not true. Everybody that studies online has the chance to get to know their professors and know their instructor. You interact with them correctly. You have a safe area where you can talk to them one-on-one. So you want to talk to them. They also introduce themselves in the classroom wherever they are in the world. Some lecturers may be located in different regions around the world. So you can interact with them. On the side of your own classmates, you have an area in the classroom where you can have some discussions. And again, don't forget there are some programs where you'll be assigned in a small group. You get to work with these people and you interact with each other. You share ideas in terms of the work and what is needed in terms of building an assignment together, submitting a project. All of these things count. So in the course of doing that, you build that relationship with these persons, and that helped a lot. Also, most universities, online universities, have an alumni network where you have a chance to interact with these people. And once you graduate, you can maybe meet in the future. You may have some reference. They may refer you for projects or work in the future, and you build a strong collaboration. So your relationship with your professor is pretty strong. Your relationship with your advisor, it's great always. And the technical support guys can help you at any time. You have interaction with the finance team as well. Also, you have a total interaction and get to know your professor on some kind of a personal basis. So it's up to you. And you also want to be open up. Of course, if you want to be someone that it's so you are not forced. You make the decision yourself to interact. So if you don't want to interact more, it's up to you. So we all have our own individual level of interaction. So the fact that you won't get to know your classmates or your professor, that is absolutely not true. Another myth which is out there is that the academic integrity. Well, I have news for you. The level of study and the checks, if you believe that studying online you can cheat so easily, well, the modern learning technology has developed in such a way that if you're someone who plans to copy people's work, copy other people's research, there is the Turning In, which is a software that kind of detects, try to make sure that the academic integrity, people do not behave in such a phony way. We did a video about Turning In, what it is or what it's all about. So it's so important for you to check that video. Your paper will be looked at. If you plan to copy people's work, you will be caught, of course, and that is something which may end up disqualifying you from the program, or you may be dismissed completely. So you don't want to get into that. So the turning in software, which we did a video, I encourage you to watch that. It gives you a picture that once you write your papers, you want to make sure that you don't copy other people's work. The professor can check that. Each time you submit an assignment in class, they will run it through that particular software, and that will detect the level of similarities on what you wrote. If you go to the internet and copy and paste, you will be caught and you will be dismissed completely from your program, and your fees will not be handed back to you. So this is something that you should be aware of. So you don't want to go through that route. It's very risky, and please don't do that. So the integrity is there. So there are checks and balances that are in place. So you get to know that once you become a student. And finally, but the last but not the least, that online students who study online do not have scholarship or don't have the right to scholarship. Well, that is absolutely not true. A lot of companies nowadays pay the tuition fee for their employees. And a lot of governments, regional agencies, organizations, local governments, the national level, technology companies, they pay the fees of their employees. They give them scholarships. A lot of governments give scholarships to the students who study online. Most governments nowadays encourage their employees not to, or their personnel not to travel abroad, or their citizens. They stay back home and study online from wherever they are studying from. So the myth that online programs do not end, students do not end scholarship, that is absolutely not true. There are thousands, if not millions, of students who qualify for 100% or 80% or 50% of their scholarship. Some of them are paying 25%, the university pays, the company pays 60%. You hear that all the time. So I think if you feel that the program you're going to study is going to help your company, you want to go to your HR department and have this conversation, so definitely they would help you. Instead of you leaving the job, I'm going to a foreign land. We encourage you to present it to them so they can help you to pay part of your fees. And hopefully that the next time you plan to proceed or advance your career, you've been informed and you don't going to be starting with doubt. And if you got questions, or if you feel that this video, there is something we left out from this these doubts that's out there, please email us or let us know so we can include that in our next episode or in a future episode. So if you got any further questions, we would like to hear from you. I hope you've been fired up, and thanks for joining. We wish you good luck, and we are looking forward to seeing you soon again, and have a good day.